This is Shelley Kraft. We're coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the PortTech Expo 2012 in Los Angeles. We're here in San Pedro. I am with Michael Simon of TransPower. Now, it's a private company, but I would have to say, first of all, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you, Shelley, for having me on.
It's good to have you. You're like the hit parade at this conference. You know, you had the trucks and this is big.
Yeah, as Reggie Jackson used to say, I'm the straw that stirs the drink.
Now, tell me a little bit about TransPower.
TransPower is a great little company. We have a very highly motivated team, and we've integrated several very interesting new technologies into large electric trucks.
Give me an example of what your technology does, how your trucks we're at the port. We're Port Los Angeles. There's a reason for all of this coming together and this taking place.
Well, our trucks do two very important things that very few, if any, other trucks in the world do. Number one, they eliminate harmful emissions, which include NOx and hydrocarbons and things that cause lung damage, and also they completely eliminate carbon dioxide and forms of carbon that create global warming. The second important thing that our trucks do is they eliminate fuel consumption entirely. So
they're not hybrids?
They're not hybrids. Hybrids are actually kind of interesting. When you get down to what hybrids really do, most hybrid vehicles only save about 10% fuel.
And they cost so much more than a regular car, too.
Well, cars, but it's even worse with trucks. A hybrid truck costs tens of thousands of dollars more than a regular truck. And when you're only saving 10% of your fuel, that's not really the greatest return on investment.
So let me see. You save 100% of the fuel.
Exactly. Our electric trucks cost a little bit more than a hybrid, but for that relatively small additional cost, you eliminate all fuel use. Now, you do have to recharge the batteries, but the cost at most utilities to recharge batteries will be about a quarter of the cost of refueling with diesel fuel. And as diesel fuel prices continue to go up, that savings will be even greater.
Now, do your batteries recharge? How do they work?
Well, that's an excellent question. And that's one of the unique things about our system. In our system, the charger for the batteries is actually permanently mounted on the vehicle. And that's fundamentally different than most other electric vehicles. Most other electric vehicles require you to use an off-board charger, a separate module or box that's somewhere, and you can't charge anywhere except where you have that box, and that limits your options. Also, these chargers for large vehicles can get very large. If you look at what some of the current commercial chargers look like for large trucks, they're taller than you and wider than you, and they take up a lot of space.
And they must weigh a lot, too.
They weigh a lot, hundreds of pounds. Our chargers weigh about 150 pounds, and they fit very neatly within the vehicle. So you don't have to worry about finding a place with a charger.
Now, we're talking about some pretty heavy containers that they're going to move around. How can an electric, I don't know, is an electric battery powerful enough to move? How much of these things weigh?
Well, a fully loaded cargo truck can weigh up to 80,000 pounds. That's the legal weight limit in most states for a truck. And that's a very good question also. In the past, older battery technologies have had a hard time supplying the amounts of power that these very large vehicles require, which is why you haven't seen a lot of pure battery-powered trucks or buses, for that matter, on the road until very recently. But battery technologies have been advancing very rapidly, especially over the past 5 years, and especially now with the new lithium-ion batteries that are coming out. They are more powerful, and they really help us provide the higher amounts of power that these trucks require.
Well, what's your website? Because I know people are going to be interested in finding out more about your company.
Well, it's transpowerusa.com, TransPowerusa.com.
What does the future have in store for TransPower?
TransPower has a very bright future because we can sell at many levels of the supply chain. We sell individual components that we develop, We also sell integrated subsystems, such as a battery module that has batteries and battery monitoring all built in. And then we also sell the completed vehicle system. We sell an entire electric system for a truck. So you can drive a diesel truck into our shop and drive it out as an electric truck. And we do everything that has to be done from bumper to bumper to convert that diesel truck to an electric truck. And we can do the same thing for a transit bus, a school bus, any kind of very large vehicle. We're even proposing to do something very similar to this for locomotives.
What's your background?
My background is I studied a little bit of everything in college because I didn't have the attention span to focus on any one subject. So I took a little bit of everything, a little bit of engineering, a little bit of economics, a little bit of political science, and even did some
So what are you, a PhD?
No. They
Just a modest doctor of science?
They couldn't wait to get rid of me after I got my master's. So that was the end of the. That was 17 years of school is enough for me.
So let's get that website one more time, please.
TransPowerUSA.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Simon of TransPower, a private company. We are at the PortTech Expo 2012 in Los Angeles, and I want to thank you for coming on to SNN Live.
Shelley, thank you once again for having me. It's been
Quite
a
welcome.
pleasure.
My pleasure.